Hi there, everyone. We are in week 6. So we are now at the ending of the book, and we're going to wrap up things here right now with talking about this section here. So if you're in the electronic version, we're talking about sharing hope, helping other people every day, everywhere, and in every way. So HOPE is an acronym, stands for helping other people every day. I'd like to expand that to everywhere and in every way. So this is on page 113 if you're in the book, and like I said, if you're in the electronic one, we're in that section about sharing hope. So just want to go through some things here. I'm going to read and reflect on this and just add some extra insight as we can finish up here, and look forward to hearing your comments and seeing how this believe, decide, and act process is working for you. Again, just to reinforce things, check your belief, because you can see what your actions are, you can see what the results of things are. But if you check backwards, like if I don't like the activities or the results that they're producing, then I come back to what is the belief that is actually ruling that. It might be identifying something that is not correct. It has that lie in the center of the belief, something that may have been installed to me from family or generations, things that I might not necessarily want to continue to perpetuate forward. So it's a really good active process to continue to look at our believe, decide, and act. Many times it's our belief that's underlying. The decision has not been made and we're not liking the results. So we can work with that process over and over again. And if you want to kind of look at it, there's a lot of different gurus that teach on thoughts plus emotions equal results. I like to take that to, the thoughts are really your belief, right? And then the emotions is really the energy of whether or not I'm putting creative or destructive energy on it. And then the results are actually, actually creating my reality. It's like instead it's creating my reality. So I like to look at it that our belief added to our energy creates our reality. So we are in control of that. I can't control how anyone else responds. I can't control whether my business makes more customers, or whether my customers want to help me to expand the message to other people. But I can control my belief and my energy on creating my own reality. And that's really the keys. If we're trying to do anything, we're trying to give you that power back so that you can understand that you're enough, you're priceless, there's nothing wrong with you, and you're perfectly suited for the mission that you're undertaking. So we want to be able to empower you to get your belief and your energy aligned to be able to create your reality, the reality that you want to create here. So as we go into this section here, we're talking about sharing hope and taking it out to extra people, out to the world, and doing this as your ministry or your mission, your walk, your business, your marketing. So I always love words. I always find clues in words. So I love to just look at words and see what they're trying to share with us. So if you, right here in the beginning, if you think about the word impossible, IMPOSSIBLE, it's just sitting right there in front of us. It's so hard. It's negative. It's impossible. It's impossible to do this, or it's impossible to do that. All it takes is a moment of reflecting on it and seeing it differently. Just put an apostrophe there. I''M. So now I'm possible. So we might see something that's impossible for most people, but we can know that I'm possible. So what can I do about this? Rather than it being that impossible is going to rule me, what can I do about punctuating that and going, well, I'm possible. And so if it's meant to be, I'll do it. There's a story about the starfish where there's a little boy walking up and down the beach, throwing back starfish into the water. And, there's an older gentleman that comes up and says, what are you doing? And the person says, I'm saving the starfish here. And he says, well, look, there's too many of them. They're all over the beach. They've gotten washed up during the high tide, and they're all going to die. And the little boy reaches down and picks up another one and throws it into the water and said, saved that one. So it's that kind of approach. Like, it might look impossible to everyone to see too many things like that, which would cause us to not take any action whatsoever. But if we understand that it's up to me and I'm possible, then I can do my one thing, right? And if we have that hope being shared, helping other people everywhere and every day and in every way, then we can actually start to create a little bit of movement on this, and have people not look at the negative or the impossible so much, and understand that well, I can do something. Here's what I can do. And then that'll turn the table and start going into a better direction for creating your reality. So that's really what I wanted to emphasize there. I wrote down a bunch of different things that are possible in my world. These were things that were, things that people had told me, different things, or things that people had projected on me because of the way that I was, packaged, being tall or whatever. So I would like you to think about like taking this as an exercise and thinking about what are the things where you have overcome or you have stood for something and you've done things that other people told you couldn't. So that's kind of what I played with here, is just writing down all the things that I was thinking of being possible. And some of them are, funny and crazy and that kind of thing, but it just helps me to see that we are a stand for I'm possible in the face of impossible. So what does that look like for you? What does your list look like where you're helping to hold to I'm possible, and that things can get done, or something can get done, or something can get moved in that way, because something, you've got an attention on something that's a bigger problem, but you can do something to move the needle. And I like to focus in on one of the items that's in there is to be fully present for the gift of today, and not worry about about things far away, past or future. We get ripped off about time so much that we are not here in this moment. This is the only moment that exists, whatever moment it is that you're watching this. This is present. It's a gift. It's here now. It's gone and it's here now. It's gone and it's here now. So our past is just a sequence of stories. And it's how we tell ourselves those stories, or how we remember those things, as to whether or not they lift us up or they bring us down. We can rewrite stories that, were struggle or hard times, and they could actually create resolve and strength in us. So now we're more equipped for the future. We could just as easily write that story that we are incredibly embarrassed and never capable of ever doing anything again. And we could ruin the possibility in this present for us to do anything. So just to remember that, the past is a story that you create, that you author, that you repeat, that you tell yourself again and again. So you can write it and tell it the way that it's most powerful for you, or you can tell it that it's going to be the most negative and going to cause you to be paralyzed. Your choice, right? In a present moment, I make that choice. And then the future is something that, we don't know how it's going to play out, right? Thousands of different ways it could play out, right? But if I worry about all the different scenarios, then I'm going to be anxious and impatient and panicky in this present moment. So again, I get ripped off from the present, worrying about the future, and it won't play out that way anyway. If I envision it with enough fear and enough energy, I will create that in the future for sure. Because whatever I believe, my thoughts and my emotions, my belief and my energy, those things create my results or my reality, right? So I've had situations in the past where I've had so much fear and so much emotion tied to my thought about scorpions that I attracted a scorpion to sting me in bed at night while I was sleeping. And my husband was laying right there next to me. He didn't have that same energy and that same charge. He wasn't attracting that experience. I was. So if we can do that in the negative sense, imagine what we can do in the positive sense. And I've seen it work out positively as well, but just understand that your negative, your fear is going to be a higher energy than a positive gain is going to be, because a lot of times we don't believe these positive gains can exist. We have to continue to keep feeding that and making that energy more powerful, because fear has like almost a toxicity or a higher level of energy to it. So just remember, present is to be fully present for the gift of today is a gift that we can have every day, and to replace that fear with love, because love creates versus destroys. And then one last thing on this list here is to live compassion for each living creature. I just love to be able to have compassion and be that compassion. As you go out in the day, just think about it. You're a container of compassion for the world, unconditional love, and you're going to be able to attract things to you in a much better way when you're grateful and compassionate towards all the things that you see that day. So I put in here some words to live by. It's one of the quotes that came from the Bible that I felt like was a really foundational piece for this work. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. It's Matthew 22:37-39. I love this scripture because of the fact of the yourself. And here's what I want to share is that loving the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind, and love your neighbor, those two things are done really well, it seems to me. You know, people in their behavior with their worship, and people with their attraction or, you know, commitment towards safety in their neighbor and community and that kind of thing. But as yourself, that means you can't step over making sure that you've got the oxygen on you first, right? So you're getting your inspiration from God. Take care of you, and then be able to know that you're going to love your neighbor as yourself. So that means you're going to be able to treat yourself in a good way. You're going to be able to be there for yourself. You're going to trust yourself and support yourself. You're going to have your own back. You're going to be there as your best friend in that way. And so then from there, then your significant other, your family, your kids, that kind of thing, all play out. But remember to get yourself up at that higher priority, because what happens is, if we don't do that, then what happens is we're starved and we're feeling defeated. So we're being filled up by inspiration, and we're this vessel, we're filling this cup up, and we're spilling over onto everyone else and inspiring them to be encouraging and positive and compassionate, right? And so if we start to deflect that and not take in that unlimited inspiration, and we just, you know, oh, no, I'm fine. No, you're okay. You go first. And it's definitely very humble, but sometimes it becomes a problem because we set ourselves aside and we get starved for that priority or attention. And so just remember that, you know, when you look at this, love God with all your heart and all your soul, love your neighbor as yourself. So then that means you have to be important in this equation too. We can't lose you in the process. And then there was this acronym that came to me. It was inspired, BLISS, BLISS. The B stands for believe. And in this particular part of it, I was talking about, you know, some things about faith, but just really understanding, just believing that you were created with a specific purpose in life, and one that is unique to you and to you only. Like, you've got something to do that's as unique as your thumbprint, and you walking out those and that activity in your strengths, in your own capabilities, you're designed the right way, your voice sounds the right way, your body is the right way, you're exactly perfectly suited to do that unique mission. So what a shame it would be if the world missed out on it, if you didn't believe that you could realize it. You've not been created to fail. If God brings you to it, I know for sure He will get you through it. And this means that He'll provide you the strength to carry it forward. Believe in yourself, your talents, and your purpose. There's some other references there for some different books and things inside of that. But B, the B part of bliss, living in bliss, the B part is to believe that you have this and you're capable of it and you're on the path of it. So just understand that. L is let go. So, you know, letting go is more of a humbling kind of thing. So let go and let God, basically, you know, just allow it. This means to let go of the past and any failures you might have had there. It means letting the past pass by. I mean, just think about the word past. Let the past pass by and remain. You cannot hold on to the flood of success that God has for you, just as you cannot hold in your hands a river flowing. So let go of circumstances, let go of how it will happen, and be open to receive it in the way that it was planned, because it'll probably be way better than you can ever imagine. That's what I'm finding, is that whatever I've imagined in success has always come in and been like, wow, I could have never even imagined it could feel this great or be this easy or, you know, have this much benefit or whatever. You know, it's always going to be better than I imagined it. So letting go will grow your faith, and that'll help you to have resolve. So the next letter in this acronym is inspired. You attract whatever it is you need to succeed. So inspiration is something that flows through me as I'm moving in my direction, my divine direction. Think of the simple directions of the word live, L-I-V-E, and then the opposite of that, E-V-I-L, right? So I'm doing that backwards. So for you, L-I-V-E, and then E-V-I-L, right? It's just the direction. One of them is going to create, you know, me to live, to expand, to be positive, to have great gain. The other one is going to contract and destroy and have me be isolated or have me be, you know, set aside. So just remember, you know, whatever direction you're pointed is whether you're creating or whether you're destroying, because you can only be living or dying in essence. So we're only growing or contracting, right? We can't stay the same. Everything moves. So just be aware of that. I thought that was fascinating to see that word live and evil. It's just a matter of what direction you're headed. Because I think the evil of it is to tell yourself that you're not capable, to tie you down and to have you feel like, it's beyond you, because, God has set you up and created you exactly for the success that you're going to create. So go and realize it and receive it. The little whispers of the doubts and things like that come in there, that's really the thing that steps away from us being focused on what we're supposed to be doing and who created us, and puts us into selfish mode and to destruction mode, where we're really thinking that we're incapable. And before you know it, we take ourselves out, or we isolate ourselves. And that's not a good behavior. It's not a good place to be. So the first S is slow down. I love this because when this inspiration came to me, I was in the shower and I remember writing down BLISS, because it was something that it was continually in front of me. And I was like, this is what God's trying to tell me, to live bliss. And it's telling me slow down too. This is where the slow down part, I believe, is where the world misses the boat completely. All worldly wisdom points to doing more, longer hours, more effort. This actually pushes things away from us. Think about somebody just kind of splashing around in the water. They're making a big mess. Well, people are going to back away, right? So think about that. That's just more activity getting messy. Going faster causes more stress, which is becoming a top health concern, contributing to so many diseases. So slowing down allows us to be fully present in our relationships, allows us for better connection within our community, and allows us to gain the necessary wisdom that we need. So in that situation, just think about slowing down for a moment, taking assessment of where things are, knowing that you're going down the right path, not just busily going down or having our head down and walking right off of a cliff or something like that. So slowing down is probably one of the most important things to be able to help set us up for success. And then one of my friends, I even thought about, so many people feel important when they're busy. And one of my friends years ago, she shared with me, BUSY is an acronym to being under Satan's yoke. When we're in busyness, we're filling all of our tasks, we're running off, we're not really paying attention, we're not connecting well with people. And so when we're in busyness, we're in activity, like productivity for no purpose, right? And so that can put us into a bad spin. So when you think about it, being in business on purpose is business, not busyness. So that's just it's a good distinction of words, and seeing some clues in there to help you to understand why it's important for us to slow down, to notice, and to be able to make sure that we're attending to the things that are a priority, not just filling our tasks with busy ideas. And the last S stands for succeed. Believe, let go, inspiration will overflow, slow down, and succeed. That is what I felt like the inspiration was for me to share with you about BLISS. This is a new formula for success. It's not for the weak in spirit. It's for those who are chosen and those who want to arrange their life to be able to, ask questions like, what is God trying to, ask me to do? Where is he leading me? Where is it that I want to put my efforts? If I've done some assessments and learned about, my unique strengths and things like that, where do I want to now apply those gifts, those strengths, to be able to further some cause or help more people know about natural ways to take care of their health, things like that. So if you're looking for answers, you can talk to someone you trust. And one of the good things to do is to utilize mentors or business coaches. You might have someone that's really good at listening and being able to hear beyond what you're saying. You can meet regularly with them, or set up, like I said, a mentoring or coaching program with someone. Form a mastermind with a small group of people. We've done this before, where there's business owners and we take a trip. We go to a location. We went to a suite in a hotel and everybody stayed there. And there was like 8 of us that we gave our desires and talked about our vision, and everybody else gave us some coaching. So other business owners working on each other, with each other, was really powerful, because you're able to take the combined experience of that collective group and be able to have that wisdom on your business. So that's a really powerful thing to do as well. So the next section here is 3 minutes that changed my life, changed my career. And you can read about the story in there, but essentially what happened was I was in the wrong place trying to play in a team that was toxic. And at the time, I didn't realize it, because when you're in something like this that kind of erodes over time, you don't realize how far down you've lost yourself. I found myself hitting this point twice in my career where I just didn't feel like I had any value. I felt like I was in a dead-end position of sorts, but I was trying to do the right thing to make money for my family, to be able to provide a living for my family. So I felt righteous in that, or justified in that. But I was feeling like I was losing who I was, losing my identity, really not feeling valuable, feeling like I couldn't contribute. And this was all because of an environment that had a lot of psychological things going on, like, coworkers were throwing each other under the bus. Middle management was setting up the workers to be, completely ignorant or be embarrassed, publicly inside of the company, things like that. It was horrible. So I tried to survive in that. I went into this contract and got employed into this as a full-time person trying to help expand a company. What was interesting is I went in with a nickname of Sunshine because I was always positive and optimistic, and now I know that it's because of my strengths. When I took Gallup strengths, Clifton strengths, positivity is in my top 5 strengths. So to lose that top value, one of those top strengths, and to see it be where I was just, I was being able to be sort of put into a mode of sit down, shut up, and do your work kind of thing. It was weird. They didn't want creative ideas. They didn't want, any inspiration. So I just started to turn my light down, and it was really sad. But basically what happens is that creates stress. And over time, it wasn't a stressful event that got me. That had happened years prior. I already knew what that felt like. A stressful event creates a stressful response. It can send you right to the emergency room thinking you're having a heart attack, right? But this one was different. This one was sustained stress over time. And so what happened to me was, before I decided to call 911 and go to an emergency situation, I thought, well, I've learned that some of these oils have essential oils that I was distributing. They have properties of calming and relaxing and that kind of thing. So I thought, well, I'll just try them. I don't know that they'll work. Not going to hurt anything, and I'm going to need to call somebody for some help here in a minute. And so I put 2 different ones in doTERRA, Balance and Serenity, on the bottom of my feet. And then in 3 minutes time, that chemistry got all throughout my body and was able to calm my nervous system, change my breathing, return my heartbeat back to normal, help my chest feel not so constrained, had the feeling come back to my arms, and I was perfectly fine. And I thought to myself, what just happened? I felt like I was dying. I felt like I was having a serious medical incident, and now I feel fantastic. What just happened? And then I realized, I looked at these things and I thought, why is no one talking about these things? And granted, there were a lot of people talking about it 6 years ago, and there's more now, but it's just not reaching enough people because people don't know that these things can support them, because plants use these liquid compounds, these aromatic compounds, to protect themselves from the environment. And now we can take these same kind of plants, these essential oils, the liquid, and use that on our bodies. It's very quick to be able to respond. And so what was cool about that was to be able to experience something so devastating. Like, I had seen great success with, some, discomfort my husband had in his knees and some seasonal things I had going on with my nose and my eyes. I'd been able to resolve everything like that and save our family lots of money and lots of time from the things we used to waste our money and our time on, or we'd have to have sick days or take off time to repair, right? Now it was like a few drops of this or a few rubs of that, and we were fine. We were saving time and money. But when it came down to something so severe, I wasn't confident it was going to work. It wasn't a placebo effect, because I was seriously thinking, I'm in trouble. This is not good. And so over the course of, after I basically steered clear of this, next couple months, I tried, continuing to use the supplements that I had and the essential oils that I had to try to navigate through that work environment. And it turned out that I realized, there was just something, the final straw that broke the camel's back happened, and I decided to quit and go back into consulting, because I had that opportunity to offer value in the community and do that. So just went back to being a consultant like I had been before, and started to learn more about natural ways of taking care of stress. And I kept flooding my mind with all of the different stressful people that I know. Entrepreneurs, business owners, people that are performing in professional ways, they're all up against stress. And I had found an answer for them. So it was really a terrible time that created an amazing positive time out of it. So it was really cool, because I found that things can happen really quickly. And one of the things that I find is my desire to be able to help people know themselves and to learn more about their leadership skills, to be able to be encouraged. I started my first business when I was 30, so I love to encourage people to start their own businesses. The business I started back then was hard. There's simpler businesses and franchise businesses and things that are already proven and have processes to them. I started mine from scratch because I really didn't know any better and I wanted that challenge. But the great part about it is that now one of the things that I love is being able to show people how they can learn what's unique about them and be able to go use that to create success. They don't have to change who they are and they don't have to, invent something new. It's really cool to be able to tap into that and help you to be able to create not only life effortlessly, but business effortlessly. And that, I think, is something I'm very excited about. Throughout the last 6 years, I've found how to help people help their life from natural solutions and create life more effortlessly. And I'm really excited about now working with a smaller group of people and really mentoring them to become the leader that they've always known that they could be. So, for people that always wished, I wished I could start something, or I wish I could lead a team of things, those are the people that I love to help, because they're not the ones that are, obviously sought after to be a leader, but they have that capability in them. They've just never been mentored or basically taught how to see what's right about them and put action behind what's right about them. So I'm very excited about that. And that's really where this work from life, let it flow effortlessly, moves very easily into how do we create, how do we help set you up with money-making activities that let your business flow effortlessly, or let your income flow effortlessly, so that we can get you more into a freedom of time and money lifestyle. That's really my desire. And that's cool because, as we get to know better ourselves, we can join together in more collaborative groups, and our communities can become stronger. So I really feel like we're heading in a direction of more collaboration, helping communities thrive. And it's possible to be our own unique self in that, and to inspire others to discover the gifts, because you've already got them in you, and we just need to know what your gifts and strengths are. And as we really, I think it's striving for higher emotional intelligence. We're actually moving, there's collective intelligence, there's, just regular intelligence, right? There's the group's intelligence. But I think as we get to emotional intelligence leading, then we will avoid creating toxic work environments like the one that I was sharing about. Because we can lead from that positive servant leadership style, and we'll make sure that people will go to work in a pleasant way, and they'll come back out of work with energy left for their family. When you go into those toxic environments, it's just everything you can do to survive, and you come home and you don't have anything left for your family. And that's a terrible way to make an income. So it all starts with you and it begins with our cells, our minds, and our bodies. And that's why we want to be able to inspire people to learn and listen to what their body is saying, because your body is actually communicating through symptoms about what's needed, so we can help you to create physical and emotional well-being. Improved health becomes as a result of returning to homeostasis, which is your body's natural and normal balance. So it's really important that we get to that point and inspire people to be able to do that. It's very simple, and it can happen in 3 minutes or less, just like you heard. And of course, continually working with daily habits and using things that are good for us, not toxic to us. So then the vision of leading 21st century well-being just really sparked because of this. Again, I've been working in this natural solution world for 6 years now at the time of this recording, but leading what a 21st century well-being looks like, right? When you think about it, for families and corporate wellness leaders, we need to educate and inform corporate workplaces to understand improving physical and emotional well-being is the focus. We'll build stronger relationships, we'll strengthen our communities as a result of more people taking personal responsibility for their life and letting that life flow more effortlessly, because then the workers are all going to be more on task, and the work is going to get done more easily with less people, and then you've got productivity and profitability, so everybody wins. So one of the things I wanted to be able to do is inspire this to be taught more in corporations where people go to spend the most amount of their time. Imagine break rooms where you could have support for the different things that are going on, and people could take care of themselves during the day rather than waiting until they get sick and then staying home sick, right? You actually could take care of these things before they became a problem. And that's really the philosophy of what we're talking about in a 21st century well-beingness, is not waiting until we're in trouble, but really doing things every day that are going to contribute to good cellular health, to reducing the stress in the cells, and being able to have our life flowing more effortlessly, so we're more productive and much easier to get things done. We don't need to be working hard and being spent. We need to be able to contribute and then still have time and effort to be able to give to the families. And then for the healthcare professionals, I have a passion in my heart for those who've gone and been trained in different healthcare fields, because these people have spent money and time and focus and years on learning how to be able to take care of ourselves. And we need these people in our system, because when we get into an accident or crisis, our Western medicine is fantastic at fixing and helping and supporting and caring for our health needs. So we need these different kinds of health practitioners and health professionals to thrive in their daily activities, their business, or their job. And so when we've got individual people that are out in an office or a building somewhere, they've got to attract clients to come to them. We have programs and ways that we can keep having conversations go out into the community which attract new people, and events and activities that come from that business. So that health professional, whether it's acupuncturist, massage, nurse practitioner, doctor, eye doctor, ear doctor, whatever, any kind of profession, they have a physical office and they need to draw in more clients to be able to thrive and stay, in business, right? So we can bring, 21st century topics, how to reduce stress, or, natural ways to support, reducing discomfort in the body, and helping to, go through every season with supportive nutritional and cellular support, that kind of thing. So these activities will help to draw people, to bring more referrals and more activities coming to that business. And it's a better marketing program, because you get relationship time and marketing touch points with more people naturally. And you can send things out in text and communication through Facebook and social media, and you can have people coming in events. It's just a rich marketing plan for how to keep a health practitioner business thriving. And there are opportunities for revenue to be shared, if that's the possibility for that company, so that it can help to offset overhead and operational costs, so that they don't have to struggle when there's times where, there's seasons where they don't have clients coming in. Like for, eye doctors don't have people coming in every day for the glasses. They're there for, a season of that, and then they wait 6 or 8 months and come back again, right? So that can help those kind of businesses to stay consistently in business for us. But we have to support those local practitioners to survive and thrive, so that they're available for the care of our community. So that's what that section is about. And then I just have my acknowledgments there. And then the next part of that is just a little bio about me, and helping to share some different works that were cited in the book. There's some great resources on this works cited page. I love, some of the different books here. You could go back and read them again and again. In addition to the way that we formatted this was, to be something that you can come back to again and again, to help you to be able to really see how being genuine creates real value. So thank you for being here with me. And at that, we've finished the book here, and we'll have more discussions just in our live group there. But again, thank you all for taking the time. And if there's any ideas or anything you want to talk about, you can email me. The email's in the book, and phone numbers are in there as well. But I look forward to hearing how you're able to now live life more effortlessly. It's my wish and my hope that you will understand that you are priceless, you are beautiful, you are brilliant, and you are perfect just the way you are. Now that we can help you to see what's right about you and help to assess and show you some of your strengths and things like that, even in addition to this book, we can work with you in mentoring and help you to be able to walk out the steps in your job or your business or your life to be able to realize things you didn't even realize possible. So when you think about it, you are possible. I'm possible, right? And so just keep that in your framework, and look forward to hearing how is this work helping you? Where do you want to share it? If you want to host a book group, I'd be happy to do that with you. If you want to be able to talk about it, I'm available to do that as well. This work was inspired for me to help you help yourself. And I look forward to hearing how it's working for you and sharing and celebrating your success. Have an awesome day, and remember to live life, let it flow effortlessly.